Breaking news first right now on the 19th. It is our Futurecast. Looking ahead, showing you the temperature as we start on Saturday morning. Look at Louisville right there in the middle of your screen. A big fat 3 degrees on Saturday morning with a high that day coming up to 16 degrees. And tonight it comes as the governor announces another death from the winter storm of 2026. It is disturbing news tonight. That news from the governor just before 7, bringing the number of dead in our state to 11. It is our top story. Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt. Of the 11 people who have died, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg says that includes one man from Louisville. The other deaths in counties like Davis, Owen, and Graves include men and women in their 60s and 70s, and a 48-year-old man died in Morgan County. Andy Bashir is saying tonight, quote, each one a child of God, gone too soon. WHAS 11 team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Levi Hammer have more on the man who died in the Portland neighborhood area.
Hey.
Tiny, how you been?
I've been all right. How about you?
In the snow and temperatures that feel much colder than they are.
I need hot chocolate.
Food, clothes, and essentials to staying warm are given freely at the Circle K near South 3rd Street and West Lansing Avenue.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
By people with warm hearts.
Come and see me at Arthur Street next Thursday.
Tiny Heron with Forgotten Louisville is the head of it, continuing her outreach. She says she knows of and has helped the man who died during the winter storm, an unhoused man in the city.
And this is why we're out here, because this should not be happening. Not in my city.
Mayor Craig Greenberg confirmed the death.
Richard Marshall, 55 years old, passed away over the weekend after being found outside in really grave condition.
Marshall is among the Kentuckians who've died because of the winter storm. Many knew him, hanging around Jay's Tire Shop at 18th and West Market Streets.
Yeah, I've heard accounts of, how he was found with no shoes on. I don't know how that happened. I just don't know how that happened. I don't know how anyone could ride past and see someone freezing with no shoes on and not make a phone call to someone.
Heron says Marshall knew of the resources available, but was nowhere close to an emergency shelter.
Let me get you some gloves, okay?
Forgotten Louisville and other volunteers try to touch as many as they can.
The need is so great. Our shelter systems are full. All of our shelters are located in one central area.
And ask you watch out for your unhoused neighbor as freezing temperatures persist throughout the weekend. With photojournalist Levi Hammer, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
And now tonight to the stunning new video from our Sky 11 drone today. Ice chunks in the Ohio River. You know, we don't get to see this very often. Ice forming right around the Big Fort Bridge. It starts around the shoreline, and then right here, take a close look. Floating chunks of ice that look like puzzle pieces. This video recorded today by our chief photojournalist Philip Merle here at WHAS 11. And by the way, any guesses to the current temperature of the river water? Well, there's an actual temperature gauge in the Ohio River at the Zorn Avenue Water Tower. We checked on it tonight for you, the USGS water data site. It stands now at 32 degrees. No surprising now that we see ice. Well, I can't wait to get down the river tomorrow myself to see that ice because it's fleeting. And Austin Evans is in tonight for Mallory Schnell. And Austin, this is quite a sight. In 94, people walked across the river because it had been 22 degrees below zero, but nobody should be thinking about doing that right now.
Not even close. Not even close. Not even you athletes that like this ice bath gimmick for, healing and whatnot. No, too cold. But we're going to stay that way through this weekend, and we could see some light snow, maybe a flurry or two even tomorrow, but nothing major expected. Really, the next thing is that cold snap as we head into Saturday morning. Here in the metro, we're in the lower 20s right now. Across Kentuckiana, we're in the lower teens to lower 20s. Details on this weekend coming up in a few minutes.
And brand new on the night team, we are following a developing story tonight from a developer, and it's a big one for downtown Louisville. The former Fifth Third skyscraper right at the entrance to 4th Street Live is set to become the first ever luxury brand JW Marriott hotel in Louisville. Here are some of the developer's plans posted tonight for the 4th and Liberty Tower, vacated after the bank moved to Nulu. The Indianapolis-based Goldman Group says it will turn the building into 418 guest rooms and suites, plus a huge ballroom for weddings and corporate functions. The company says it will open sometime in 2027. Goldman says, quote, on their website, "We are proud to bring the renowned JW Marriott brand to Louisville, blending timeless luxury with Southern hospitality." The mayor says the vacant Humana building, by the way, is also being considered as a possible hotel. He told us tourism leaders say Louisville needs more hotel space on the immense scale of the Galt House. Only on WHAS 11 News tonight, Congressman Morgan McGarvey, in a new interview with us today, believes his good friend, Governor Andy Beshear, will run for president in 2028. Here's the clip in our WHAS 11 Plus studio with political reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and me today, just this afternoon.
I think he should run for president. I hope he does run for president. And if he runs for president, I think he has a great shot of being the nominee.
Has he told you he's going to?
Not in so many words. No, he's look. I think.
Do you think he's going to run?
I do think he's going to run. I also think.
When do you think he'll announce?
Now that I don't know, because I say this,
maybe after the elections this year, because he's DGA chair, right?
Could be after the elections this year.
Well, there you have it. This interview, a lengthy one, is part of WHAS 11's new political streaming show called The Powers That Be. McGarvey gives us his view on tariffs. Are they behind moves like GE bringing back more production to Louisville? And whether President Donald Trump would order ICE to Kentucky as retribution to politicians he doesn't like. It's The Powers That Be next Wednesday on WHAS 11+. New tonight, making it easier for schools and your child to eat locally grown food during the day. A Senate bill filed in Frankfort aligns with the Make America Healthy Again Kentucky Task Force, which emphasizes the importance of access to local food. WHAS 11 Night Team's Alex Dederer and photojournalist Aspen Hester have the story.
Fruit and vegetables, fresh food that hasn't been processed. A bill has been filed in the Kentucky Senate to make it easier to have locally grown food in your kids' school.
It's better to get that nutritious food in there for their brains, for their brain capacity, their capacity to learn, their capacity to have nutrient-dense, real food in the cafeterias.
Dana Feldman, executive director of the Office for Consumer and Environmental Protection, says Senate Bill 5 removes barriers that have made it difficult for Kentucky school districts to purchase local products.
There's a lot of rules and regulations that schools must follow. A lot of those are at the federal level.
The bill was filed by Senator Jason Howell of Murray. And if passed, it would give districts the opportunity to work directly with local farmers.
The students love it. It's healthier. It's more nutritious. The food service directors and their staff love working with local products and really love creating relationships with local farmers.
A statewide push to improve health through local food.
Students that have access to produce and vegetables and fruits and vegetables and a balanced, healthy diet, they're going to be able to pay attention longer. They're going to be less hungry, less distractible, and more able to focus on their studies.
Michelle Shaker with Norton Children's Prevention and Wellness says good nutrition for students starts at home.
The parents and guardians are going to be your best modeling for those behaviors. And so eating healthy at home, having your healthy habits, those are going to be things that your kids see and then adapt.
Senate Bill 5 was filed as a priority in the Senate. 6 of the 10 priority bills are focused on education. In Louisville, Alex Dederer, the WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Well, the bill is now waiting to be assigned to a committee in the Senate in Frankfort. Today, GE Appliance is revealing its new production line of water filters for your refrigerator. It builds on the company's goal of bringing production of products from China and Mexico back to the United States. The company plans on creating 800 more local jobs with its investments over the next 5 years.
What you see here is very advanced. There's a lot of engineering work. There's a lot of equipment. It's hard to find that kind of skill set in America today. So we do a lot working with the school system, working with universities.
GE Appliances says this is their biggest investment into a plant that is since at least Appliance Park opened in 1951. So big at the time, it had its own post office on the plant property and a private zip code created just for it, 40225. New video emerging showing Alex Preddy in Minneapolis in another clash with federal agents 11 days before he was shot and killed by agents. Indiana's governor would be allowed to deploy military police with little warning or permission, a new bill passing the Indiana House. And later, Frozen. We'll bring you more of our incredible new drone video today of the ice chunks forming in the Ohio River.
And here's the Kentucky Lottery jackpot numbers. Mega Millions sitting at $303 million. Powerball, $43 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.